All right, so hello everyone. My name is Meredith, and I'm the developer and maintainer of the open source project PostGraphQL, which will take your Postgres database schema and turn it into a GraphQL API without any extra work from you. Now, I'm sure we've all sat here today and we've seen all the great why GraphQL slides, and I'm sure many of us are familiar with the Postgres database, so we know why that's a great database. So I could stand up here and talk for 7 minutes about exactly why these things are great and why they work great together, but instead I'm going to show and not tell. So in these 7 minutes, I'm going to develop a complete GraphQL API for a simple form example using PostGraphQL. So let's get started. First things first, I'm going to open up a Postgres client on my machine here, which will just allow me to run some basic SQL queries, like this, all right? And next what we're going to do is we need to create a container for our database. So it'll be a schema in Postgres, normal stuff. Create schema form example. Next, we'll pop over here and we'll start PostGraphQL with the same schema that we just created, form example. And we're also going to pass in this watch flag so that when we make changes to our database, they'll be updated in GraphQL and our API. Okay, so we've done that. Now let's open up GraphQL. There we go. And as you can see, we have this pretty basic GraphQL setup. No mutations yet. And so far, we just have some very basic stuff on our query type. We have the relay1 hack here, right, to do your top-level queries if you want that. We have your node selector to select nodes using the global unique ID. And you'll notice PostGraphQL heavily believes in the emerging _ ID standard for global unique IDs. Of course, if you want to configure that, it's totally configurable if you want to support relay1. So it's kind of bare right now. Let's add some stuff. First, let's add a table. For example, it'll be a person, right? Because we need humans to log into our database. It'll have a serial primary key, which is, going to be a unique 1, 2, 3, 4 primary key. We'll give them a first name. It'll be required, and we'll give them a last name, which will just be some text. All right. And let's create one more table. It'll be a post table. Form example. Post, and it's pretty similar. It has the same basic primary key. A headline, which is some required text. Some body text. Oops. And an author ID, which is an integer required. And here's the interesting bit. It references form example.person ID. There we go. I promise you that's going to be the most typing I do today. Okay, so now if we jump back into PostGraphQL, we'll see that it picked up our changes, it restarted our server, and if we look here in GraphQL, we'll see now that we have some new fields. We have a connection for our persons. We can get them by their global ID. We can get them by their integer ID, or any other unique field, maybe an email. Same for posts. And if we dig into posts, as you can see, here are all of our columns. We also have the global unique ID. It implements node. And PostGraphQL automatically detected the relation and added a field for that. And if we go into person, we'll see that, look right there, we can get the reverse, we can get the connection in the opposite direction as well. So let's keep going. You may notice that we don't have a description here. And one of the great things about GraphQL is that you can add descriptions to your types, right? Well, good thing, if you can name a feature in Postgres, there's probably a way to add a comment to it. And PostGraphQL can pick this up and add it to your type. So let's hit that. As you can see, PostGraphQL restarted, and there we go. We have a description on our person. All right, so I'm just going to go back here really quick. I'm going to quit out here, and I'm going to add some data. Just like 10 people and 30 posts, right? So let's jump in here. We can say all posts, and all the typical arguments you'd expect, including offset. So if you don't like cursor pagination, you can just do limit offset pagination. Totally your choice. First 3. Edges, of course, we can get the page info in here. We'll get the cursor. Node, we'll get the global unique ID, and we'll get this ID, and maybe the headline too. We hit enter, and there's all the data. But, this is GraphQL, so it's turtles all the way down. We can go select the author. We can do that. We can get their first name, their last name, and then we can do that as well. And of course, you can keep going down and down as much as you want, because this is GraphQL, folks. So now you may say, this is all fine and good, but my scheme is just a little bit more complicated than basic tables and comments and relationships. And basic CRUD as well, because we do add the mutations. If we go back here. Ta-da. All right, so good thing Postgres allows us to define user-defined functions. So over here, I've just got a couple of user-defined functions. I'm going to copy one right here because I'm sure you don't want to watch me type this. Get back into the Postgres shell, add it, and if we jump into our query, into our person type, we'll see now that we have a computed field on our type. So let's add it right there, and boom. We had the computed field. And now if you want to look at the function a bit, it just takes a person as the first parameter, or it returns some text, and it concatenates the first name and the last name. Now, if you thought PHP was weird with the dot operator for concatenating strings, SQL is really weird because they use the double pipes, so who knows why. Now you may say, well, I also want to be able to search posts, and I want to serve a newsfeed or whatever. Well, great thing, Postgres can also let you define functions which return sets. So we just drop this in here, hit enter, it returns, as you see, just a normal SQL select statement with I get it, that's not the best way to do text search, but this is a simple example, guys. So we jump back in here. Of course, we can do search posts, and it's the same connection type, so we don't have to change anything else in our query. And I happen to know the word ameliorated shows up twice, so we'll query that. And as you can see there, we have two things just like that. So now, thanks to this wonderful conference, you guys all know why GraphQL is the best and why you should be using it. And now with PostGraphQL, you don't have an excuse to not use GraphQL. And now your product developers can do what they do best, build beautiful apps, while the open source community does what they do best, bike shed over making the perfect API. So you don't have to. Thank you, and thanks so much for coming to this conference.